just want to say a massive thank you to all the listeners who sent in and proved that we were in their top 10 podcasts or like their top 1%, 6%.
Yes, got loads of emails. Thank you so much. It's everyone sent lovely messages. Nobody wants us to send them.
Nobody wants a gift.
No one wants to give us your address, which is rude.
We've got so many copies of Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom that we wanted to send out, and now I'm stuck with 11 copies. All on Blu-ray.
I pre-bought 107, and I feel like a fool.
I know, I played the stock market as well. I bought everybody's shares. Nobody even wants shares. It's like we were going to send you Anthrax, all right? And it's a threat, by the way.
If you do have any music, keep sending your emails through.
Send them through.
We're loving it.
We'll do some requests. Nobody was like, oh, but in lieu of a gift, can I do a request?
Yeah.
People were just very kind, like, have a good holiday season.
Absolutely
Here's
lovely.
my proof,
everyone's
which is
like,
lovely.
Everyone's like, no, I don't need anything. You just keep trucking on. I was like, thanks.
Yeah. The people from Apple Podcasts, dead fucking silent.
Oh yeah,
dead
absolutely.
silent.
We said on send your Spotify, I don't want your Apple wrapped.
Yeah,
what is that? An apple bomb? I don't
Apple
know.
picked, Apple core. Well, surely they've got a good Apple pun for it, right?
Yeah, they're really good at branding. Apple's really good at pun-based advertising.
So they usually are.
Yeah. My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl.
And
This is Who Would Watch This?
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we chat about a film, watch a film. I swapped it around there. Do you see that? Yeah, and then see who we
and
think
people say we don't keep it fresh.
I know, right? That's what we're all about. And see who would watch this.
Today we are talking about Deck the Halls, which currently has a 5 on IMDb, a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 2.3 on
5 so
Letterboxd.
blunt. Is it 5 out of 5?
So it's a harsh half of what you could get. Considering it has a 2.3 on Letterboxd and a 6% on Rotten Tomatoes, its IMDb score is high, in my opinion.
Pretty high.
I think that's simply Christmas is carrying it.
Pretty much. If it wasn't snow and like a tree in the background, I think it'd be a dead 4.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny. Every Christmas movie's like, greed.
Yeah.
Share. Every time you put on a Christmas movie, you're like, I wonder what the message will be.
Carl, the plot of this one is 2 neighbors have it out after one of them decorates his house for the holidays so brightly that it can be seen from space.
And that fills 90 minutes? Surely not.
Barely. We've done, we did Christmas of the Cranks.
We've done Christmas with the Cranks, we've done the Polar Express,
Yeah.
we've done Silent Night, Deadly Night, we've done Jack Frost.
Yeah.
We've done what was that American movie that was that had the war and was very like flags and stuff.
It was I can't remember.
That was a wild Christmas movie. That was a fever dream to try and remember.
The problem is there's such a weird bar of there's not many like bad Christmas movies, and then the second that you go slightly below, there's about 2 trillion Hallmark movies that no one's ever heard of.
I know, it's always really funny during this time of year because nobody listens to our Christmas episodes, but I only want to review a Christmas movie. It's my own innovation to single-handedly sabotage this podcast.
Here's the thing. The holiday seasons, if someone's like, do you mind if I put a podcast on the background? That's not a cheerful house, you know? that's not Christmas joy right there. You're like, you want to watch Elf or listen to 2 guys chat about Elf? Neither.
I also would like to shout out today that this is going to be the hottest and steamiest podcast we've ever done. Today it is going to be getting up to 44 degrees. Right now it is a crisp 34. It is going to gain 10 degrees in the next 2 hours.
We are in a unconditioned room. We can't have
Very
a fan.
little
the
light.
audio's dreadful.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. And here's the thing about Christmas movies. I want an Australian movie because they never capture the horrid heat that Christmas is for
and the
us.
caravan park being full.
Yeah.
That's Christmas.
The beach is packed. It's not pleasant.
Anyway, we're going to play a really fun drinking game. It's called Hydration.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're going to do is every time it goes up a degree, Oscar and I are going to have a sip of water.
Yeah.
And we thought this would be fun because you can play at home. Please, by all means, have a water bottle with you.
Yeah.
This is us venturing into new territory. That we're engaging the listener more than ever.
Yeah, exactly. Every time, I might cut out us taking a sip because it's dead space. But just imagine. I'll give you.
We'll do loud.
We'll
sips.
do a loud noise.
I'll do
every time we take a sip.
I could blow into my cup.
Yeah.
Splash back in my eye.
How cool is that?
Oh god, that was cooling.
Carl, do we jump straight into Deck
We
the
should.
Halls?
It's 35 now. I'm not joking.
Fuck, really?
It just went up. Yeah.
God, clink. Carl, we start with Deck the Halls. Matthew Broderick is a optometrist.
He loves an eye.
Yeah.
He loves an eye. He's
should
the
get-
only optometrist in town, and you'd
Yeah.
think that would make him rich, but apparently not.
He's pretty wealthy.
Oh, he's well off, but he doesn't know how to fix his car.
His house can be seen from space. Okay, that's how impressive.
What does that
it is.
mean?
I don't know. This movie, I think Google Earth just came out, so they're
So
freaking
don't
out.
you mean like My Earth or whatever they call it in this?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, they do call it My Earth, don't they?
Yeah, Google was having no part of it when they
Yeah.
read the script. They were like, "No, thank you, sir. We don't want the shout out.
They're just starting out, just like, no, this is bad publicity.
This will ruin us." Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito in a Christmas movie. Ah. You know what I thought was weird in this opening?
What?
Weird to just take like the logo of the movie and put it over the credits. Like I feel like you never see that where they've literally just gotten like the transparent JPEG of the logo of Deck the Halls like wound up with lights and in weird font.
They've not even removed like the border of the poster. They kind of weirdly scrubbed it out in Photoshop. They're like, that'll do. The main part of this film is there's a lot of effort in the worst places possible. I think just the lights and that's it.
Yeah, like there is, as the movie progresses, I'm like, they clearly spent money on this. And I don't know why. And I don't know what they thought their return would be. Who would make this film?
Surely Christmas films are such like they must be just like, listen, if somebody's watching it ironically, that's every year.
If like 500,000 people connect with it and
Yeah.
watch it every year, that's just income forever.
Yeah.
And that's such a low percentage of the world to like. They probably worked out on like a Venn diagram what the crossover was of Danny DeVito fans and Matthew Broderick fans and realized that
It's a
they would
circle.
just watch crap.
Yes, we get introduced to Matthew Broderick. He's an uptight. He's a bit, what do you call it? He's a
He's a
planner.
working stiff, I don't know.
Yeah, he's
I mean, I thought this was a weird opening because I thought they were making him out to be a nice guy because he gives this girl confidence by picking the right glasses for her.
It's a weird one that you follow this man, and as the film progresses, you find out he's kind of not the protagonist. He's kind of the antagonist.
Yeah,
I'd say.
that's right.
Yeah, it's kind of a flip. If you kind of think, oh, he's nice, perfect, but he likes things in order, and Danny DeVito is the mess, and he comes in and he's got like a hot wife, and he's disgusting. They flipped on its side. Matthew Broderick's an insane man, a psychopath, and we'll get into it. But guess who he's married to, Carl?
I don't know the actress's name.
I wrote it down. Kristen Davis.
Yeah.
However, we know her more famously from
Sex in the City.
Yeah.
We are on a Sex in the City kick at the moment. I think we might have brushed on it in Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah, she's in that. We've watched Sex and the City. I'm watching all and just like that.
Yeah,
It's terrific.
we've watched the two main films. This will be like the most I've ever seen of an actress in a year.
Yeah.
When she rocked up in this, that was like Marvel hype for me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they got this person back.
We should also give the context that Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick are married,
They're married.
and we're in this, and this is the co-star Sarah Jessica Parker and this Charlotte co-leads. So it's odd they're married. It's
rough.
They share a passionate kiss. It's not passionate.
Oh
it's
no, there's
long.
there is zero chemistry
Yeah.
between Matthew Broderick and this.
I think there is you can feel Sarah Jessica Parker behind the set of the camera going, "Don't you fuck."
She's probably mildly. She was their intimacy coordinator,
Yeah.
being like, "Don't even touch.
Don't even touch.
Don't even touch."
God, you've gone pudgy. That's right, Charlotte. Just like poking them, just like really making the atmosphere. But get no candles, blow them out.
The whole time, Sarah Jessica Parker was like, "You are a bad dad."
I assume that's what an intimacy coordinator does. Just lights a bunch of candles.
Any of the movie sets I've been on, that's what they do. Roast them. Once I took off my shirt and they did 9 minutes of stand up on me. It was so cruel, but also everyone loved it.
Oh, the atmosphere was great in the film.
Honestly, it was great for morale.
Okay,
Every movie set needs a villain.
so we've also got his 2 kids. We've got
They've got 2 kids. I love Arrested Development.
Yeah.
And I am going to have to apologize. I do not know the actress's name of Maybe, but I love her in anything she pops
yeah,
up. She's
great.
always...
What's that party show? The Search Party.
Yeah, Search Party. She's really
great in
good
that.
in. She's in like Ruby Sparks. She rocks up in things.
She's given nothing.
Oh, she might as well not even be in this
Yeah.
movie. There is a scene towards the end of the movie when her mom in the film is just like, "You're missing out on everything that's happening with your son." And I guess your daughter doesn't really want to be around. And it's just like, God, you didn't even give her an arc.
No. The son, however, Matthew Broderick's son is such an interesting character. He's like an 8-year-old?
Yeah.
Deeply depressed.
Horn dog, depressed.
He's either deeply depressed,
Yeah.
or the second he sees breasts or a woman,
Yeah.
he's got a lust for life.
Yeah.
It's a fun dichotomy.
You can tell if this character grew up and was like 40 during the Great Depression, he'd have hit some hookers and then jumped off the Empire State.
Yeah.
That's the vibe of this kid.
Yeah, he even feels old, doesn't he? He feels
does.
like he's reading a newspaper.
Yeah.
He's like,
I was watching Wolf of Wall Street recently. This kid feels like he's torn out of that film.
A tragic tale, huh?
It's a tragic tale. Leonardo DiCaprio just punches him in the gut and then steals their child.
Now, that's our family. I kind of thought they'd be the uptight, protagonist of the film. They're a mess, because Danny DeVito rocks up.
Yeah.
And what do we think about who's Danny DeVito's family?
Danny DeVito and his family is also a mess.
They're a mess, but I think I vibe more.
I think they're meant to be endearing, but I think everyone's unlikable.
Everyone becomes unlikable.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. But at the start, I was pretty happy. Danny DeVito is married to a
Kristen Chenoweth,
classic hot girl mum, sort of that vibe
from Wicked.
Oh, isn't she great, huh?
Huh?
But
who does she play in Wicked, Oscar?
Is she Elphaba?
The other one. Kristen Chenoweth, also known as Glinda the Good Witch from Wicked.
We're big fans over here.
Huh?
Yeah,
right.
This podcast, Wicked fans, circle.
Let's go tit for tat on our favourite songs from Wicked. Defying Gravity.
Well, that's mine too, so I guess we'll stop there.
Okay.
Really. Yeah.
Well, a fun game that fills the podcast.
We're all about fun games to pad.
We are absolutely all are. Oscar, no joke, it's now 36 degrees.
Fuck, man, I am really like.
I am. Look at me. Look, I am sweating over.
Yeah.
I'm in a pajama shirt. I didn't even get dressed to come over here today because it's that hot outside.
God fucking damn it. Okay,
so I'm just coming here in board shorts like I was going to the beach. Just thought if I wrapped a towel around myself, people wouldn't mind.
We'll get you a damp cloth. We'll just wrap it over you.
Sorry, just put me down.
So that's okay. That's his wife. You kind of think that's the dynamic. He's got 2 twin daughters.
They move in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
The 2 twin daughters, Matthew Broderick's son is very taken with. He finds them very attractive.
He's back on life. He's not going to commit suicide. He's like, oh my God, I want to see these girls. Fuck.
Anything this movie does that is like a sexual reference or sexual comedy is really uncomfortable.
They were like
really poorly
I don't know
handled.
what was in the script meeting, but I assume a big word that just said incest and that's kind of the humor, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy how little jokes there are. There's a bit of slapstick and then incest jokes.
Yeah.
And they all land.
It's nuts. It's nuts that there's this many jokes. I cannot, and they start coming hard and fast quickly. Like for a PG Christmas movie, it's weird that they were like, make this very sexually charged.
Yes.
Like you're truly to Matthew Broderick.
But you also know people are going to be watching this at home with their family. So then they're like, well, should there be an incest plot, you know?
I feel like if I was a dad, I would have turned this off. I would have been like...
This is a rough watch. This is a rough watch for a dad.
And if I was like an old dad watching this with my 40-year-old son, I'd be like, you go turn this off. You go up and turn off the...
I'm glad you painted a picture. You're not very ageist. That's really powerful.
Sorry, we had a falling out. So it's nice that he's come home for the holidays. The 2 families meet each other.
Yes.
We have a very awkward interaction where Kristen Chenoweth's like, I can see your little penis, Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, no. Is he erect at this scene?
So, yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe he was saying that they had morning wood.
Yeah.
But it was, one, not funny, and just very...
Because he's definitely awake, so he's definitely not just been popping around with a boner.
Well,
I assume he sees her and immediately gets aroused.
Yeah. But it also wouldn't shock me if Matthew Broderick's character has like a Viagra addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I could see that for him.
He's popping pills.
Oh, he's definitely popping pills.
Yeah.
All optometrists are very addicted to popping pills.
That's the thing. Everyone knows optometrists are pretty much, they're drug mules.
They're part of the opioid problem.
Yeah.
That's why they're called opioitrometrists.
Oh, that's clever. That's clever.
I butchered that, but I also kind of nailed it.
Here's the thing about jokes. Sometimes it's for the audience to figure it out, huh?
That's right.
Sometimes
it's about you guys throwing us a fucking bone, all right? We don't come and listen to you, okay?
Immediately defensive. You butcher joke. Well, how about you guys aren't funny? I've not heard a single lyric from you guys.
It's Christmas. How about some goddamn giving and give me some fucking leeway on my jokes this morning? It's nearly 37 degrees
feels
in
like a
here.
sauna right now.
It is a fucking sauna in here. I am this close to taking off my shirt. I am going. Just have a sip of water. God, I'm dehydrated. I'm going to tell you right now, never come to Australia. This is one of those, I love it here all the time. And then this
The
today.
second it's like, hey, how about we just go, it's an oven now? How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? How about that? What are you doing today? Guess what? You're not doing it fun.
They're like, don't go outside unless you're going to bake an egg on the concrete. That's it for you.
Now, we meet Danny DeVito. His name is Buddy. He's now his new job. He's searching for stuff. His new job is like a car salesman. He has. I don't know if he's magical, but I think he can literally sell anybody anything. It seems like he's got a mysticness to him. Do you think?
Yes, he does. This is the type of thing that always annoys me in a movie when it's very clear the filmmakers or the writers want a character to have a certain power, but have absolutely no way to demonstrate it to the audience.
Yes.
Because a bet is made for $3,000 for him to go and sell a car to a random customer that's kicking some tires in the car yard. That is the guy that owns the fucking company. And he then walks in and is just like, I just bought one of my own cars and I paid sticker on it.
Yeah.
And they don't show you that conversation because there's no way to write it. And they don't want to go to the effort of showing how he's a good talker or anything like that.
No, exactly.
Which I think is an L for them, considering we saw Danny DeVito do the same thing in Matilda and he nailed it. He nailed it in Matilda.
That's so true. He probably could just gank the script from there. But no, he definitely has a mysticness to him. He's been like...
He just walks around pointing.
Oh yeah, he's Matilda now. Oh, I have telekinetic powers. That's how I get the lights up so easily.
He's like, buy this car. I gotta get back to Miss Honey.
I'm his son. I'm a son. Now, yeah. So he's moved house with his family a lot. He's had a bunch of jobs. All jobs he's excelled at, but he's not fulfilled in life. He wants something bigger. I think it's not a praise of the film, but it's a fun character motivation.
It was a nice character motivation while it lasted before he settled on what his motivation in life would be, and I went,
He looks like he's yearning for more, which is like kind of nice, but he's like, I want to be seen. I genuinely thought we were literally going to have him going to space, but he just wants to be seen from space.
Yeah, which is minimal.
Yeah.
Like, I would assume achievable.
I don't understand how Matthew Broderick's house is visible from space.
I don't get it. I just assumed that there was a tree above them.
Yeah.
Or something.
Anybody. You can find, like, I don't know, a small shed.
Yeah. I feel like...
Again, we don't know what 2006 Google Earth was like.
We lived it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could definitely see my
pictures.
house.
You were taking pictures, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I definitely saw my house in
How do you
2006.
get the Google Street car job? I want that.
You want that job?
I do want that job.
You've got to be... It's actually quite a long vetting process.
You know what? You're probably joking, but you're probably right.
Oh,
right?
I know for a fact it is. Yeah, it's like...
A backpack one? They're just walking trails? That sounds quite nice.
Oh, yeah, that one is nice.
Yeah.
Did you see that thing where they were like, please do not trust Google Trails recently? Did you hear about that?
I didn't see that.
Because I think they use Earth to map them out, but nobody's checked them, and so a bunch of people got lost for a bunch of days on them, and they were just like, look, they've got a warning being like, don't trust
Yeah.
that we know the trail.
We got a gist, but
Yeah.
it ain't great.
Yeah, anyway, God, I was out on that trail for like weeks.
Yes. Did you hear? It's you. It's a personal story.
It's me.
And at some point, you know what? I don't think actually Google did know, and I think you didn't.
Sorry, I'm just doing the gospel, okay? They didn't reply to my emails. I almost died.
It seems like
I ate a friend.
No, it sounds like you've actually gone for the Google job. You've gotten the job. You're pretending like it's a long vetting process. It seems like you were mapping out the trails. You got lost, and then you blame Google, going, they don't know what I'm talking about. It seems like you fucked up your job, a job that I crave and want.
I didn't. I am one, good at my job, and two, if you would like to get a job at Google, no joke, this is how I got my job at Google. They just ask you questions about the hit Owen Wilson and Matthew Vaughn Google-orientated film, The Internship. So if you could name all the lead actors, quote a lot of the Dylan O'Brien lines, you're sweet, they'll hire you in a heartbeat. They just want to make sure people are still watching that film.
And here's the thing, that sometimes people say you need a Harvard degree. Luckily at Harvard, all they do is watch The Internship.
Yep. Yeah. Also, by the way, I thought that maybe you could do the same thing for a job at Facebook. No. They don't want you to acknowledge that film at all.
I was giving off all the quotes. I was like, hey, you want an appletini? They're like, get the fuck out of here.
Do you want me to feed my chicken some chicken? They're like, fuck off. Get the fuck out of here.
I like you have a personal interview with Mark Zuckerberg. He's the one vetting you.
And honestly, as I was leaving, I said, drop the "the," and he was like, get the fuck out of here.
Drop the fur.
Yeah.
Ace book?
Got it my phone and I was like, how would you feel about lines of dialogue by Dylan O'Brien from The Internship?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Sit back down.
You don't know them? Get out! Get out!
I can do the Maze Runner, the Scorch Trials.
We get enough candidates doing the Scorch Trials shit, okay?
Give me some of the fucking Death Cure, alright? Or get out of here. Did we do the Maze Runner films on the podcast?
Did we do the Maze Runner? No, we did. What was the one we did?
Divergent.
Did the Maze Runner also not finish?
Sorry, no, the Maze Runner did finish.
Gotcha.
That was a trilogy.
Yeah, trilogy. Wow.
Yeah. They made money.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, good for them.
I think those movies did well.
Oh, good for them.
I don't know. Thomas Brody's singer was in them.
When I'm a degree. Okay.
How is it climbing this fast?
So fucking hot. Okay, Danny DeVito's now plan is to be seen from space. Suddenly, this is a pretty vapid goal. Suddenly, I was so like, kind of like, you know what? Danny DeVito's kind of the hero. Matthew Broderick's kind of a prick. No, Danny DeVito's like, I want a statue of myself. I want to be God. I want to be seen from the satellites.
It's also, I think it sucks for Matthew Broderick's character as well because he's self-appointed the Christmas man of town.
Yeah.
So for somebody else to come in and put their stamp on that has thrown him completely because these two characters get off on the wrong foot really fast when Danny DeVito seemingly just wants to be nice at the beginning to Matthew Broderick.
I mean, Matthew Broderick got a hard on when he saw his wife, so I think it's ruined the relationship. That's on Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, you don't recover from that.
No. So Danny starts putting lights on his trees, and Matthew is not happy. But he's got his like whole Christmas he's got a routine, and it's pretty hectic.
Bad routine.
Yeah.
It's like he gets the advent calendar.
Yeah.
And he
turns
turns 3 early.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. Right? He was he was like, today's the first day of December, and then turns 3, and it's like, and we'll put the reef up on 3. And I was like, so you've ruined 3?
He's got a schedule, he's dreadful at sticking to it, though.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy the movie is so intent on being like, he loves a schedule, he loves Christmas, and he's bad in bed.
And his whole thing, I think his arc is to be more casual and let things happen. He's pretty casual in every other regard.
Yeah.
So his whole thing is, let's take a photo. None of the kids want to take it. The mum's like, ugh, we'll do it. But Danny DeVito buys a sled.
They go to take their photo. They come back out. Danny DeVito's like, hop up on the sled. Take your photo on the sled.
Yeah.
Look, I got reindeer.
Yeah.
I put little horns on them. Isn't this fun for everyone? Matthew Broderick hops on.
Yeah.
And we get just an expensive sleigh car chase X chaos scene.
It's pretty pricey. They smashed a bunch of cars, a bunch of wide shots. It looks not good, but it's like, oh man, this probably cost a lot.
Yeah, look, let's say this would be a few days of shooting. You've got a lot of expenses. You've got a stunt double. It's a lot of planning. They're going down streets. They're crashing into things. A considerable amount of money spent on this scene.
Yeah.
What is meant to be funny about this scene? Where is the comedy in this scene?
I don't know. It's weird because Danny DeVito hasn't been set up as like an oaf-ish, really.
No.
And Matthew Broderick's...
That's a great word because I think that's what Danny DeVito's character needed to be. He needed to be like Homer from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Like sincerity about his own stupidity.
Yes.
And like that 10% of kindness
Yes.
along with like the 90% of stupidity. Like, I don't know. It's like
Just
Homer.
like the Flanders, and then that's sort of what Flanders is. But they've done little tweaks, and it doesn't really feel like no one really feels. I mean, Matthew Broderick feels like genuinely like a psychopath.
Oh,
and then Danny DeVito's in this loosey goosey sort of like, I'm kind of nice. Sometimes I'm spiteful. Sometimes I'm stupid. It's very weird. It's a long scene. However, I'd say there's no real humor to it, and then it ends with even worse joke. Really. I don't know what you gain from this because it doesn't even like move the plot along. I think it's just visually. Look, there's some stuff.
Yeah, there's things happening.
Yeah.
Doesn't the movie feel like there's pacing?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
The chaos of this scene ends with Matthew Broderick. He ends up at a lake.
He flies over a car and lands in a lake.
He like essentially drowns in ice, and they allude to him maybe dying before he wakes up. And I think this is a wild gag.
And it pops up so much. They commit to all this stuff. Pretty much, Matthew Broderick's frozen in ice in the back of a car with Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito is like, hey, you almost froze to death. Don't worry, keeping you warm. We're in a sleeping bag. We're both nude to keep so we don't freeze to death.
Danny DeVito's rubbing him in the sleeping bag, both nude, and he's like, don't worry, I've done this half a dozen times.
Yes. Matthew Broderick gives such a scream.
It makes you think Matthew was not told.
Yeah.
Like, they'd just given him a lot of fucking Valium on set that day and been like, get him through the scene. It'll be... The scene will be funnier if he doesn't expect it, you know?
It's man, I mean, it's 2006, but how, like, fucking, like, it feels so, like, dated, this like, sensibility. It's, like, such disgusting... I feel like gay jokes were kind of, like, a dime a dozen in 2006, but this feels pretty, like, revolting.
It does. This feels like a script picked out of the 90s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know those, like, 90s feud comedy duos?
Yes.
Like, it feels like you could totally have gotten...
Away with it? Yeah.
Yeah, like, or potentially there was just sort of a vibe to the 90s that maybe would have made this work.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know, but I feel like even then, the sort of, like, I think it's kind of, it feels like even 70s. It feels like such, like, disgusting about, like, gay sort of...
Yeah.
It feels like so rejection-y.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe it's just Matthew's performance.
Well, I think it's also weird too, because I think this is the type of movie that you would be getting two comedians to be in. And instead it's just two comedic actors.
Yeah.
If that makes... Like, it's not like Matthew Broderick or Danny DeVito are going and doing stand-up. They're just good actors at comedy delivery.
I mean, it's hard. I feel like, honestly, maybe Danny DeVito's like... I've been watching Always Sunny recently.
Yeah, which he's phenomenal in.
Yeah,
I know
he's
Danny
terrific.
DeVito's a fantastic
It's
actor,
crazy, like,
director,
he was pretty
writer.
much, like, he was on the, like, kind of decline.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Always Sunny. But, yeah, so I think he's definitely got it. Matthew Broderick's kind of... He's in funny things.
Yeah, but Matthew Broderick's good when he's given good material.
Yeah.
Like, and I would say Danny DeVito's the same.
Yeah.
Or he can riff when he's filled with good... But it's not like he's going to be able to riff and have good chemistry with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Like, if you... What is this? Early... What is it? The
2006?
2000s? Like, I mean, if you were getting, in terms of... You know, it's like the difference between getting, you know, two of the people from, like, SNL with the, you know, the Lampoon's Vacations or any of the Eddie Murphys or something like that.
Coneheads, if you will.
Yeah, right. Like, or getting, if you were, like, early 2000s, if you got, like, Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller to do these roles.
Yeah.
You know, like...
It could work. It's kind of the twins route, right? They were probably like, Danny DeVito's quite good in that.
Oh, actually, if they'd gotten Arnie to do the Matthew Broderick character,
probably,
this would
he was
work.
probably doing Jingle
This
Way.
would fucking work.
Wouldn't
This,
it?
oh my god, that is a film.
Because Arnold being so neurotic would kind of be funny.
Oh, it would be so good. And knowing he's maybe governor at this point.
Yeah.
Just be like, I'll come out of the woodwork for
And you
Deck
know
the
what?
Halls.
This gay joke that they do, it might work with Arnold kind of.
Yeah. You imagine him going, "Wah! Is me Arnold!"
But Matthew gives such a terrible scream, doesn't he?
Sorry. Oh, like I said, it is wrought with chills, thrills, and skills. So, after this sequence, we are now firmly in the feud territory.
Yes.
So, what now occurs is essentially 10-minute, 8-minute scenarios of feuds that set up, and then there's a downfall at the end of either one of the characters.
Yes.
Just over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Let's go for a few of them.
Okay, first one is Matthew Broderick has set up a row of trees that each year he grows it like in lines, and it grows, and he cuts them down. That's his whole thing.
Really quick, red flag, right?
Oh,
To be this into Christmas that he's got his
too
trees
much.
sorted for
He's
6
too much.
years.
He's too much. This is the problem with small towns. People go insane.
Yeah, I would have, if I was the son, I would have gone up to the mum, tugged her coat because
Yeah.
I'm tiny.
Yeah.
It would have been like, we've got to institutionalize him. We got to do something.
Put him down. I'm not doing well mentally, but he is.
You know,
really...
I'm depressed. You know, I'm horny.
Yeah.
You know, I should have been born in the 80s during Wall Street.
I
But
could
I'm
have
not
thrived-
here.
I could have thrived in a Coke experience, but now look at me.
Look at me.
2000s. The Christmas shits are killing me, Mum.
Look at me. All I can get in this goddamn town is meth. I'm a child, Mum. I'm a goddamn child. Anyway, I'm going to climb these fucking trees.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe the thrill of climbing a tree and meth. Mainly the meth. I got the high of the meth pretty good, but the tree's good as well.
Mum, count back down from 5. I'll be at the top of a tree. Seriously, count. Count right now.
So he's insane. I don't really know how it really works. Danny DeVito, again, accidentally pours petrol.
But
on the
I don't
trees.
understand why it is still here. Like, why was there a thing of gasoline there?
I think it was a car. I'm not sure. I don't even think a tree, because he uses an axe and he sparks it. I don't know.
It's hyper convoluted.
And to start off with, this one's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. But the tree's burned down. And I think Matthew Broderick's like, he's spiteful. Throughout this kind of like scheming, like feud-esque thing, the main thing is Danny DeVito keeps putting more lights on his house and is drawing power.
Yeah, so they're stealing power from next door.
Yeah.
His house is getting more and more popular. More people are going to it. It's getting harder and harder for them to sleep the brighter it gets.
Yes.
It's getting good media coverage. On top of that, the townspeople are starting to ask Danny DeVito for advice on what to do with Christmas. Like, what's your bauble of choice? How big should this tree be? Where should the decorations go? You are the Christmas guy now.
And I'm not going to give much praise to this, but I do genuinely think Danny DeVito gives a really good performance when he's like, listen, okay, baubles, you're going to want a 30 by diameter. You really want to get that right.
Yeah.
He's quite a pro about that, but that's all I've got, really.
Yeah, and I mean, because Danny DeVito is acting selfishly, and I think this is where I turn on his character, is he's getting media coverage, and they're just like, why are you doing what you do? And he acts simple and just goes, I just like that everyone likes the lights.
Yeah.
And Matthew Broderick's like, man, fuck you. I can see right through what you're doing.
That's the thing. Both characters suddenly get more and normally you'd be like, oh, cool, they're going darker and darker, but the film doesn't do a good job, so they're just dreadful people.
Yeah. So Matthew Broderick starts signing his son up to be also doing antics with him. So one of the things they're going to do is they're going to cut off the power to Danny DeVito's house. But luckily he has a generator.
Yes.
During this like expedition, the child gets caught up on a telephone pole, and Matthew Broderick sells his son down the fucking river to get away with this, and he's just like, we're gonna get him checked out.
Yeah, it's cruel, but also the mum's like, hey, the son kind of wants to go shopping, and Matthew Broderick's like, if I don't terrorize my neighbor, this is all for nothing. And you can just feel the mum going, come on, just fucking go shopping with your son. The son's up that telephone pole, just like, Dad,
He's hanging. The blood is leaving his body and rushing to his head.
Yeah.
Like, go get your son.
Yeah.
It's weird, there's no repercussion. They literally, like, fade out to a commercial break.
There's no repercussions for
Danny's like, what's your son doing up there? And they're like, wah, wah, wah. And it fades out to commercial.
Fades back in, because commercials goes... He's mentally not doing well.
Yeah.
And the theme tune kind of feels a bit mute there.
Also, we have this scene where Matthew Broderick has to reverse his car.
Yes.
I don't know why this happens.
All the media comes through. Again, it's like convoluted ways to set up, not a great punchline. But
why wouldn't this scene be between him and Danny DeVito?
I don't know.
Why introduce this drunk man holding a beer?
Yeah, he's like, oh, all the media's here from the stuff. There's cars are pulled here. I need to get out. Some random drunk goes in. He pulls off both his car doors.
He was never going to make that.
He was never going to make it.
It's crazy the guy that owns the car is there and doesn't just want to move it for a moment.
That's the thing. It's a convoluted way to set up that Danny DeVito has to give him a car.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I think, only reason why it exists, right?
Also, because neither of us like live in environments that get cold and have snow.
Yeah, because it's fucking 40 degrees
it's
right
fucking really
now.
hot. Everybody have a sip. A little bit of dead air. I don't know why their cars are just filled with hooks.
Oh, why there wouldn't be?
Well, no, why is there hooks? Because that's what ruins their door. Is remember the front and the back of both of the cars have a hook on them.
I think it's like a towing thing. I think, you know what?
For snow?
I'll give the film this. That's right.
Is that correct? If you live in a snowy environment, can you let us know?
I think it's just tow trucks. I think you would have hooks, right? Because you need to tow things out.
Are they both tow trucks though?
No, one's like a ball like thing you like hook a
trailer and the other one has a hook.
One's a hook, but I think that's literally so if people get stuck in the snow, they get hooked out.
Sorry,
I'm giving the film praise here. They've nailed the hook law.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Granted though, you were such a big fan of Hook.
Well, I mean...
Movies with hooks.
Listen, that and Pan really tickle my fancy.
You also love a movie with a good hook, like Gone Girl.
Well, I tried showing that to Mark and he was not a fan, okay? I was like, listen, you don't like The Social Network, what about Gone Girl? He's like, I just can't get around Ben Affleck.
He's like, I'm just not hooked. I'm just not hooked.
I'm Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark. Yeah, I think this is wild. And it keeps sort of happening, but Matthew Broderick's getting himself into situations where I think it's only his downfall. Leave your car. Don't trust the guy holding a beer. Like, you were never going to get through that narrow...
I mean, here's the thing though. Although these characters are so, like, I'm hating them, so I don't mind them downfall. But they just don't learn. I don't think they get any repercussions, so I don't feel gratified that I hate them so much.
So they come up with, they come up with the concept. So Danny DeVito buys Matthew Broderick a new car.
It seems like the feud's over. He's like, listen, a lot of things going wrong. I bought you a car, and I also got you a Christmas tree.
And I got you your coffee, and I didn't take your morning paper today.
Yeah.
And they're like, you bought our friendship, great.
Yes.
Which I think makes also Matthew Broderick really shallow.
Oh, yeah, no. His wife is like, this is too kind of a gift. Matthew Broderick's like,
let us have it.
let us have it, fuck you. Turns out he didn't, though.
He didn't.
Yeah.
It's just that he's shaved off a little bit of his 10% commish, and he's still got to pay for that
Danny's
car.
put him on a high loan interest for this massive car.
Does
He's
this have
also
a-
stolen the Christmas... This is a high risk, low reward. He's actually...
Stolen the Christmas tree,
And put
framed
it
it in...
Which is fun. I don't think
It never
comes-
pays off. Neither does the car thing, right?
No.
Neither of these have repercussions on
No, they're
anyone.
dropping everything. Every time they set up something, the sled's gone.
Yeah.
The power's cut's gone. Nothing pays off. But now, pretty much, Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito is what the fight we all want to see. 50 minutes in, they're like, should we just fucking fight to the death? Huh? Would that be finished the film? At this point, it feels like they're on set going, you know what? Fuck it.
It's gone up another degree. Are you fucking feeling the
I'm
heat?
fucking so hot,
This
man.
is a nightmare to record. If this is how our summer's going to be, then we're just not doing episodes this summer. Or
We've got a break. We've got one more this year, and then we have a Christmas break, and then we got the Who We Watches Awards.
last year we went to New York. God, it was cold.
God, it was chilly.
Why aren't we doing that again?
We're poor, and the heat stuck us to these chairs.
Yeah, I am stuck to the leather right now. I'm sunken in.
We do these on big what they called big boy, fat boy. What's the big armchair?
Oh, lazy boys.
Yes.
Yeah, we are on leather lazy boys, fully reclined,
Yeah.
and I'm naked, so my skin is just melted with the leather right now. You are going to hear a giant rip at the end of the podcast when I have to get up.
So they're gonna fight, but instead of fighting, they go, listen, how about we do a bet? If you win, they're both ice skaters, I guess, figure ice skaters. They're like, if I win, you have to give me the car for free. If you win, I pay the loan or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like this winter sports carnival in
Yes.
town that they do. It turns out Matthew Broderick's really good at skating for some reason.
Yeah, they're both good at skating.
Why?
Don't worry
Who
about
knows?
Yeah. But before the festival, they're like, should we just, be kind of friends?
Yeah.
Which is quite weird.
And so they are, like, because I guess the two families are getting along, just not the two of them.
Yeah.
Not that you would think these two families get along.
No,
It's-
one kid wants to fuck the two twins,
Yeah.
and it seems the other twins are like grabbing maybe and just like absorbing her into the
yeah,
cool
it
group.
also sort of feels like, who's the woman from Sex and the City?
Charlotte.
Yeah, it also feels like Charlotte from Sex and the City maybe has never had a friend.
Oh,
And it's just like, you've moved in next door, we're a thing.
I think these films do such a great job, accidentally, of just portraying such a sad life that I don't know if this really exists. But this is it's the flaw of the nuclear family.
Yeah.
It's quite grim.
Yeah, you get a lot of these ones where you go, oh, wow, they never show that these people have
No.
friends. It's always like the dad is a socialite,
Yeah.
and then the wife doesn't have a friend. It's really sad,
Yeah.
and you notice it in so many Christmas movies or American suburbia films.
Yeah.
Like, just rough.
It's not good.
Yeah. Shame for Charlotte.
Shame for
But hey,
Charlotte.
she's got a friend in
got a
Kristen
friend.
Chenoweth, okay?
Yeah. Before they do the ice skating, Carl, they're perusing the fair.
Yeah. They find that there's these three girls up on stage that are doing a sexy Santa performance.
Yeah.
Everybody's there to watch it. It is the middle of the day in a small town, I think a very calm environment. Danny DeVito starts heckling these women sexually, and Matthew Broderick's like, I want to get in on that. And
Yeah.
they start to bond over heckling these women.
It's how most men do bond, huh? You ever been on a construction site, you see a hot woman, you're thinking my neighbor next to me are not friends? Guess what? We can both relate. That woman needs to be heckled.
Hey, girl, what you doing? Come over here to the construction
That's how we
site.
became friends, remember? We were like, this should be an hour-long podcast.
Yeah.
And we pivoted to movies, but it was before about
You were drilling.
heckling women.
I was hammering.
Yeah, I was doing that thing,
And I was doing this.
Yeah.
The nails in. Give me the next
we were actually
one.
doing stomp, but then we were sort of like, I guess we should probably construct
Okay,
something.
fine. We were in a dance class. We met during a flash mob.
Yeah, it was big. Well, actually, this was just last year. Flash mobs are still cool, guys.
Flash mobs
I've been
just
told.
came to Australia.
The heat goes us down, but in the winter months, flash
Oh my
mobs
god,
come
flash
out
mobs
of-
everywhere. Try not going somewhere without a flash mob. It's a nightmare. On the train in the morning, at your workplace. My boss gave one to me the other day. I hated
You got
it.
fired for a flash mob.
They were just like, get the fuck out. And I was like, the synchronicity is beautiful.
God, they really nailed me. Okay, well, the heckling goes to pretty much Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito heckling, "Who's your daddy?"
You learn too much. This isn't a scene where you should be learning what Matthew Broderick's character's kink is.
Yeah.
Because he's like, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? And Danny's like, yeah, get him.
But Matthew Broderick's not comfortable doing
But
it.
remember, they're in a small town.
Everyone,
That
like-
is the optometrist and the man that is the face of Christmas now, heckling these young women on stage, and everybody around them's like,
Even if it's
gross.
it's their daughters, we'll come to that. But even
Yeah.
if it's not their daughters,
Yeah.
why were you heckling those women?
It's crazy that they're like these characters. If this didn't turn out to be their daughters, we're still meant to like these characters. Yeah. But it's like they got their comeuppance, so they're like, still like them, right? And we're like, no, this was obtuse.
The twins and maybe are both they do this fun zoom, but it's it's almost again Matthew Broderick gives such sadness to the performance. He's doing essentially what he did in not Sideways, Election, a real sad performance of a man, but in Deck the Halls, and it just doesn't fit here.
If Alexander Payne had directed Deck the Halls,
it would be the holdovers.
It would be the whole. There's a scene with Paul Giamatti just heckling women at the holdovers school.
They run to the church to the thing with holy water.
Yeah.
And then they're like, hey, the ice skating thing's going on.
Really quickly, dumb, right?
What?
Like, this is them being like hard cut, splash to them, throwing holy water in their eyes.
Yeah.
Why would you do it? Who gives a shit? Why is it Why is it
I
holy water?
I think it's
Yeah, but it's not. What's the comedy?
What
have the jokes been?
Well, actually, no. It's actually kind of cruel because it's not that they're regretful of their comments. It's more that they've seen their daughters in a sexual way. That's why they're like, "Oh, I need holy water for my eyes," which is kind of the blame's not. The blame's like, "Oh, the women should not have been dressed like that." It's like you guys shouldn't have called out who's your daddy to your daughter. But you know, these are protagonists, so I do support them.
Yeah. It's just weird. Anyway, so they have the skating competition.
Yeah.
It's long, it's not thrilling, and it looks expensive, I guess, because there's lots of extras and they're skating and blah blah blah. At the end of it, Matthew Broderick oversteps and he says something mean to Danny DeVito.
Because Danny DeVito wins, but Matthew Broderick's like, "You're invisible."
Yeah.
And this is cutting because this is his whole character.
Just like your house, you're invisible.
Yeah.
And that ruins Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
And he goes on the attack. The next day, he's like, we've added a speaker system, the lights are brighter, and we're going to be pumping Christmas music till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's wild that Danny DeVito's wife isn't piping up to him to be like, they're our neighbors and I like them. How about you don't fuck over everyone in that house?
It's so weird that I feel like this happens so often, but like you'll find at the end, the two wives like, this was a disaster. You guys are messes. We're leaving. Now at the end of the climax, have a chat before this.
Yeah, because this then causes Matthew Broderick to buy illegal fireworks and fire them at Danny DeVito's house. Like it's just the antics are so
You think that'd
weird.
be fun though, but he does it in such a way. He's like, listen, if he dies, he dies. I don't mind. His children live there. I don't mind. And they burned to a crisp. I'm cool with that.
He's like Charlotte from Sex and the City. I need
Friend
you,
to Jessica.
friend to Jessica Parker. I need you to know if these fireworks don't work, I'm getting a gun. That's the state of what we're in.
This is more so I can pretend it's an accident. My clearest direction right now is I'm trying to kill you. If the accident doesn't work, I'm killing you in cold blood.
He's either like, hop on board and help me kill him, or I'm going to kill you and the kids and then him. That's a threat.
Either way, someone's dying.
That's a threat, Charlotte from Sex and the City, friend of Jessica Parker.
My wife.
My wife.
So he just lights a bunch of fucking fireworks. So that he goes like, all right, 4 a.m. And he's like, great. Now I'm going to fucking I'm going to carpet bomb his house with fireworks. It doesn't go well, but I think he burns his own house. And then Charlotte from Sex and the City is kind of like, you know what? We're going to go stay at a hotel.
Yeah. You know what they don't tell you though?
Yeah.
That the two wives are staying at the same room at a hotel.
Yeah.
Like they've just gone, aren't you sick of your husband?
I mean, I think listen, they've gone, hey, I like having a friend like you. The kids are hanging out. Your weird son's trying to perv my daughters, but that's fine. At the moment, we're a good collective.
Maybe has made the twins more intelligent and wanna have a
Enjoy
future.
books. And they make maybe more popular.
Yeah, fills her with more confidence.
Yes.
The son, I don't know, it just needs a dad.
The son's, here's the thing, he's either suicidal or he's horny, and at the moment he's horny, so I guess it's a win.
So the wife and the families they've left.
Yeah.
And now we get the most convoluted solution that I don't think would work. Right?
No, it never works. When I feel like it happens so often that the husband has done something irredeemable. He's like, what if I do one small gesture and that shows I show a little bit of effort? And that normally works. But I don't remember how, like, at this point, his house is burnt down. Danny DeVito has sold, like, a priceless vase, which is hideous.
So this is the other thing as well, is Danny DeVito's been selling his wife's family heirlooms.
Yeah.
To
buy the
pay
lights.
for all the lights because he's not going to work anymore.
Yeah.
Even though he is the best salesman alive.
Yeah. He's got a magic tongue and can sell anyone anything. You'd think he'd pop up for 3. The car salesman's like, listen, you only showed up for no days, but you already sold 15 cars, so you're not fired, but you're kind of fired, but like, we're pretty impressed.
Yeah, so anyway, their solution and apology is they're going to use all the lights to create a very, very long
elaborate
light
maze
tunnel maze.
From the motel to
all
their
the way
home.
back home.
I'm talking, this is like, what? Minimum 5 kilometers, right?
It's over the fucking highway. It's stalled traffic.
If this whole town's in absolute chaos.
Yeah.
But minimum, what's the distance to a motel to the house?
Sorry, I think maybe 6 to 7 kilometers.
Yeah.
Like I think it would be a long way.
Yeah.
They're not going to go to the closest hotel.
Yeah.
Like they'll just go to one that's affordable and nice. It might be on the other side of town.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, but also, who wouldn't have seen this? This would have taken a day.
Because
days to set up.
The kid opens the door. Look, Mum, and it opens up, and they've done like construction.
Yeah.
The motel's all wired up.
Yeah.
This is a nightmare
They've
to clean
done
up.
so much, unless this is literally just down the street.
Yeah.
But why would it be? On
but
top of this, they
do
have
we
time to
think-
make a meal.
Do we think this is a good gesture?
No,
I don't think it's very good
This
at
is
all.
a nightmare. The townspeople should have come and been like, "Are you going to take down your fucking lights?
Yeah.
Because you've backed up the highway. I can't get to my family's house. You realize you've caused
It's
a crash.
Christmas.
The
It's
deer are
Christmas.
having seizures. Like this is a fucking
You
mess.
fuck the wildlife, and that's the biggest sin.
I've only read the book, so I don't know if this is
What?
gonna
Shut
if this is gonna happen for the movie that's coming out, or if the movie's going to be big. But I feel like this act and gesture is what causes the mayhem in Leave the World Behind. Now let's see if that movie ends up being successful. Am I right? There we go.
That's huge.
That's a nugget for later.
I thought you were gonna say I've read the book Deck the Halls, and I was like,
Have you not?
oh well, it's a page.
It's a take on Little Women.
Oh, they make such
Greta Gerwig saw this and said, "That'd be great." Is that based on anything?
Yeah, here you go, Little Woman. Oh, why
They
they
threw
change
her
the
a
title?
Barbie doll. The hell is this?
Make a bill now.
Yeah.
Go.
A bird flies by. It's a lady.
Isn't it? Oh, I'm thinking of a ladybug. Why? I've always thought it was a
Ladybird.
Yeah, I always thought it was I always thought ladybird was referencing the little red bug with the little dots. I
No.
never have connected that. It's actually a ladybird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she goes by Ladybird.
No, I know she goes by ladybird. But I
Yeah.
thought she
But
was a lady-
yeah, you thought it was a ladybug.
I just assumed it was a ladybug.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what's
I'm
a
glad
comedy
this
gold?
What, ladybugs?
Sorry, no. In A Bug's Life, when that ladybug, it's a man. Isn't that gold?
Oh, they've got a running bit in this where the police chief is like
Oh, a crossdresser.
a cross-dresser, and Matthew Broderick goes to like report a crime, and he sees a bra strap. He's like, I need to go throw up. It's crazy that like that'll be a running gag.
It's crazy, obviously, because it's like RuPaul really like.
Oh, don't say RuPaul's the man.
No, but I mean, I think really
I
like
don't
made
think-
drag quite big on a more respectable level.
I feel like okay. Sure.
Dude, I'm just saying, I think people cross-dressing's way more acceptable now than it was in 2006.
Yes, I wouldn't say RuPaul's the...
But I think that show is the reason.
But I think everyone as a society has moved forward and gone...
Oh, yeah, and I would say that too.
Yeah.
But it's like...
RuPaul, single-handedly...
You know what? Fuck it. Let's give him the credit. It is RuPaul, and he nailed it.
He's fracking that goddamn...
We can't bring up the fracking. He never wants the fracking to be brought up. Yeah, and then they come back for a tunnel of lights. Yeah. They've made some awful meals out of Kristen Chenoweth's cookbook that I guess was a thing. And then it turns out all the townspeople love Danny DeVito, so they all come to help out.
Yeah.
I don't
know either. And they all set up their lights, and their goal is to just be seen by space. I do like they've nailed the newscaster who's come. They're like, wow, MTV's here. What low stakes? Who gives a shit? What's MTV News?
Sorry,
other than just music.
It's ridiculousness.
It's just
They're like, we're gonna go live on ridiculousness right now.
That's scary. It's like, yo, man, we got some guy who joins lights. I freaking love ridiculous. There's a live channel.
It's just ridiculousness. It's just ridiculousness.
I love ridiculousness. It's so. They made, I think, estimate about 4,000 episodes, and it's just like, here's a YouTube video. Thoughts? And that ran so well.
They then turn on the lights, and they can be seen from space. This would blind everyone, right? You would not be able to look at this.
The people in the Google control room are like, oh my god, our satellite's blindness. I think their all retinas are destroyed. Danny DeVito is a monster. Oh, but he's an optometrist. They've been, oh my god, they've been cahoots this whole time. They just wanted to get everyone into the big light area. Then Matthew Broderick can take their deals. Wow, that is huge. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hectic.
So they were just faking it the whole time, huh?
They were in cahoots. It's also really... So on top of this, Kristen Chenoweth sings a song, which is why I guess she was there.
Yeah, that was...
Because she's from musicals.
It's just... Sing a song.
Yeah, she just walked out.
Oh, I do like it. The lights don't work for a second.
Yeah.
So then immediately, and I think this is the real spirit of Christmas, they all grab their phones and go, will that work? And I think modern day this is a timeless tale because I think at Christmas all of us are probably going to scroll on TikTok for about 4 hours after lunch.
Yeah.
So this is the true meaning.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. On top of that, we also have this moment where Danny DeVito goes, you know, I really wanted to be your friend when I met you. Yeah. And Matthew Broderick goes, I know. Which is mean.
So cutting.
So fucking cutting. Mean. I think Matthew Broderick has brought Danny DeVito. At the start of the movie, he was pretty nice. Yeah.
And he had a pretty simple goal and good character motivation. And Matthew Broderick has corrupted him.
Yeah.
To be just vengeful.
They're also just like, we like this town now. Why? Because they came through for you now?
I think they're in debt. They're in a massive amount of debt, and they got like, well, the lights cost way a lot, so let's just...
Just during them all singing, somebody's just hammering in an eviction notice on the front door.
Your credit card company, you spend $250,000 on lights? Probably more, actually.
That heirloom was $700. Didn't even do a dint, and then you bought it back at $1,000? Why
was their family heirloom like a Chinese vase? Like, where did they get that from?
Sorry? You've never seen the movie The Souvenir?
I've never heard of it from
The A24's The Souvenir with Tilda Swinton and Tilda Swinton's daughter?
No.
Produced by Martin Scorsese? Have you not seen The Souvenir Part 2?
Have you seen The Souvenir?
Yeah!
Are people big fans of The Souvenir?
People love The Souvenir, maybe.
Is it about a Chinese vase?
Oh, God, no. It's about so much more.
Oh god,
it's so hot in here. What's the temperature gone to? This room says that it is 38 degrees in here. 38.
God damn.
Have a sip. Stay hydrated.
Charlotte from Sex and the City and Matthew Broderick share such a passionate kiss.
You can hear Sarah Jessica Parker from the side going, cut.
Yeah.
Cut. I said cut.
Too much. No tongue.
Cut.
Just teeth.
Cut. Did you hear about the Morgans? Cut.
Pushing up films. If I just kind of shout it at the camera, it's kind of like subliminal advertising.
Did you hear about the Morgans though? Did you hear what happened to them? They relocated. They saw a murder. Did you hear about the Morgans?
There's lights.
Oscar, did you not hear about the Morgans?
I indulge you in your souvenir.
It's hot in here. I want the podcast to end. Okay?
We've got to run it out.
Acknowledge that. Did you hear about the
Yes,
Morgans gag?
I did.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Oscar, who would watch Deck the Halls?
I think, genuinely, not fathers, not family people, not... Man, this was even too early for Christmas. It was like December 6th. I felt like this was way too close to it.
It's too hot for
It's
me to
too hot.
enjoy a snowy film.
No,
I'll
it's
say
mocking
that.
me. The film feels like it's mocking me.
They're like, look how well tempered they are
all
over
in
there.
jumpers. They're all in jeans. It's not for us.
Don't you want to come back to a toasty place? And some friends come over. Like, you know how we started off last night?
Yeah.
Watching the Beatrix Potter, Peter Rabbit and Friends Christmas special.
Oh, that's lovely.
God, it was cozy.
Yeah.
God, it was so
You
goddamn
sitting in your
cozy.
aircon room, that's a nice vibe.
Oh, it was really cozy. People were all about it.
Yeah.
I said, do we go back to the beginning? Because you can watch all 3.5 hours on YouTube in one foul sitting. They said no. But people love the Christmas special.
Great. They would watch that. Who would watch this film?
This is for...
It's pretty repulsive.
I'm going to say right now, I think if you're a pervert and you like celebrating Christmas, congrats.
I think that is good.
Yeah.
Constantly people think, Christmas doesn't have a pervy element to it.
No.
This film kind of taps into that market.
I would love to know who laughed. If any bit of this movie made you laugh, let us know. I would like to know what bit it was and why.
I want to be, and I'll be vulnerable here. Listen, the hard cut to the holy water bit kind of made me laugh.
It's so hot in here, I don't know what to do with you right now. What do you fucking mean?
I don't know. I just thought, what an absurd way to like. I've delved into that they're blaming their daughters. That's wrong. But, I'm back on side. Oh, sorry. No, Fred Armistan's in this.
He's fun.
He's a German figure skater. He's the only thing. If you like Fred Armisen, if you're trying to complete Fred Armisen's catalog, we didn't talk about him at all.
Well, he's barely in it, and he's not even doing what you enjoy Fred Armisen doing. He's just got an accent.
Yeah.
Oscar, what are we reviewing next week?
TBD.
Maybe the Polar Express again, honestly.
Maybe the Polar Express.
It's round 2 on the Polar Express.
Not crazy.
It's not fucking crazy. Do we make it a tradition?
Fuck, I kind of love that.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we will. A little bit of the Polar Express.
Oh, fuck me dead.
Huh?
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. Thank you for listening.
All right.
Go, final reading. How fucking hot is it?
It's 39 degrees in the room.
God damn it. It's
We haven't
10
got any
o'clock.
ventilation, and I'm having a breakdown.
All right, goodbye. Thank you for listening.